And in hearing everyone share their words and remarks about Mansour, it brings me to think about truly how remarkable of an individual he is. Where I'm sitting from this vantage point, I don't see anyone sitting next to someone who looks like them. I see a gathering that is most remarkable, and to really think about what it is that brought us all together, who it is that brought us all together, and how unique of an individual that is, that the presence of his absence is so impactful that it can transcend socially constructed differences that we utilize to segment ourselves day in and day out. You can only imagine how impactful his actual presence was. I'm reminded of a story that I was taught when I was younger about a young boy who was with his friends in a park, and they decided to have a contest amongst themselves to see who could have their balloon fly the highest, the quickest. That they went to a man who was selling balloons in the park, and they each brought a different one, and they said, let's see whose flies the fastest. There was a young boy who was amongst them that he really wanted to win so badly, but that first day he lost. And he noticed that the balloon that won was a different color than his. So the next day he went to the man selling balloons, and when they gathered together to have another contest, he said that I want to have that one, the one that is blue. It's the one that was blue won the day before. And now he thinks he's going to win. He thinks that he'll beat everyone, and when they go and let their balloons loose again, the boy loses. And he notices that it was another color, a green one. And he went on like this a couple of times, and then he says to the man on the last day that he bought one from him, that, can you sell me one that is the color that always wins? The man said, what do you mean? He said, every time my friends and we engage in this contest, my balloon always loses. Someone else's goes higher, much faster. The salesman, he said to the young boy that, son, it has nothing to do with the color of the balloon in terms of how high and fast it can soar, but it's about what's inside of it that pushes it to its highest of heights. When I see all of you sitting with each other, and I think about what a beautiful soul Mansour must have been, that he could bring together a gathering like this, that nobody looks like each other sitting next to one another. And I pray that when we leave from this place, we take a little bit of that with us and understand why that's something that's so necessary in the world today. Again, on behalf of the university, I'd offer my condolences, and I appreciate each and every one of you taking the time to be with us. As we close, I'd ask you all to join me in a short prayer. I'll do a little bit in Arabic and most of it in English. The culmination of that, for those of you who are close friends and family of Mansour, we're going to keep the room open just for you all to have some time together. And probably at around 7:15, we'll have people be able to come back in who need to say their prayers. For those of you who are not close friends and not family members, if you could allow for those who are to just have some time and space here to be with each other and remember our brother Mansour in a way that is more intimate and something that they would undoubtedly appreciate. And so, at the conclusion of this, if you can, give them that space, it would be greatly appreciated. So, if everyone can join me in just a short prayer, dua for our brother before we conclude. Someone had asked the question, sorry if this is kind of what we do when someone is deceased. In Islam, there are funeral rites and an actual funeral which had taken place in the Emirates where Mansour passed away. And so this wasn't necessarily a funeral service, but a memorial service. But nonetheless, it's important for us to come together to still remember, and there's a value in our collective voice and our collective hearts praying with each other. So when you pray, pray for him as if you understand he's your brother. Pray for him in a voice and pray for him with a heart that understands that you want someone to pray for you in that same way. Pray for him and be present in a way that even if you didn't know him, hearing from his friends and seeing his face, you know that even if he didn't know you, he would still pray for you with that sincerity. Pray in that way for him as you ask for peace for him and ask for nothing but the best for him. Allahumma ameen. Allahumma laka alhamdu kama yanbaghi li wajhika wa azim sultanik. Laka alhamdu hamdan tahiran tayyiban mubarakan fihi la yawm ad-din. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد في الأولين وفي الآخرين. اللهم إنك عفو كريم تحب العفو فاعف عنا. يا مقلب القلوب ثبت قلوبنا على دينك. اللهم اجعلنا من المخلصين. اللهم اجعلنا من المخلصين. اللهم اجعلنا من المخلصين. We begin this supplication in your name, Ya Allah, and beseech you to send your choicest salutations upon your most beloved sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. We ask that you shower your infinite mercy upon this gathering, a gathering that has come together from all walks of life, young and old, every race, ethnicity, culture, and social class, different languages spoken, different foods eaten, different manners of dress. Ya Allah, this is a gathering that is most unique as we have come together on this day to remember our brother. Shower your infinite mercy upon him, the one who uniquely could bring together such a beautiful and diverse gathering. We ask, Ya Rabb, that you grant him peace in the grave. We ask, Ya Allah, that you make his grave a place of light. Protect him from any trials and tribulations. Show him from within it his place in Jannah, and grant him only the best in the world beyond this one. Ya Allah, you are the one who put us into this world. It is through your power, it is through your understanding that we have entered into this world. It is through your provision, it is through your support that we sustain ourselves in this world. And it is through your wisdom, it is through your love that you take us from this world so that we might be in the best of places in the world beyond this one. Our hearts, they long for our brother. Our hearts, they yearn for our brother. Our hearts are in a place perhaps of confusion, just wanting to be in his presence for one more moment. Ya Allah, bring ease and tranquility to our hearts that are in pain. Bring ease and tranquility to our souls that are yearning. Bring ease and tranquility to all parts of our being that wish that we could just see his smile once more, that wish that we could hear his voice just once more, that wish that we could be just in his presence once more. Ya Allah, help us to recognize the blessing that he was in our life at all, and to not devalue his entire living by only understanding it through the one moment that was his passing, but to see that his passing was just a culmination into a much better world, and for us to honor his entire life by understanding and recognizing it in its totality. Help us to carry with us always the best of memories of our brother. Help us to embody the selfless spirit that he had. Let our sincerity be the sincerity that he carried forth and found in all of his relationships. The smile that he shared with all of us. Help us to share his smile by making us people who smile at all others. Help us to share just the uniqueness of his demeanor and character by being people who don't just associate only with those who are like us, but as the gathering in front of us showcases and highlights, he was a young man who connected to those who came from all walks of life. Give us that spirit, give us that character, give us that demeanor. Make things easy for his friends and his family. Make things easy for his siblings and his parents. Make things easy for those who had the benefit and blessing of being able to be with him his entire life, but still have a longing to just be with him one more moment. As we understand the words of his dear friends, we can see the impact that his life had on their lives. Help all of us to show value to all those who are in our lives in every moment that we have opportunity to do so. Let our motivation not be one that is of simple reconciliation of our egos, but to put aside the petty differences and the anger that might keep us away from one whom, when they are taken, we wish we just had one more moment with them. Help us to love each other. Help us to understand each other. Help us to be patient with each other. Help us to be true to each other. Help us to honor the rights that we have over one another. Make us true brothers and sisters to each other, not simply because we share faith, not simply because we have the same skin tone or we come from the same land, but help us to understand and recognize the shared humanity that we have and make us true brothers and sisters of each other. Help us to be good the way that Mansour was good to all of us. Help us to be right the way that Mansour was right to all of us. If you take a few moments and to yourself just reflect. If you are someone who prays, pray in words that are your own for our brother Mansour. If you are one who would just show silence as a sign of respect, in either instance, let that silence not be one that is deafening or captivating, but one that is liberating as you engage it and allow for yourself to really reflect on the deepest parts of your inside, on our brother Mansour, and what it is that brought you here today to remember him. But for some moments, just be with yourself and be at peace with the silence as you remember him in whatever way you are comfortable, in whatever way you know will do justice and honor to his memory. Wow. Ya Allah, accept our dua. Ya Allah, accept our dua. Ya Allah, accept our dua. Ya Allah, grant our brother Jannah. Ya Allah, grant our brother Jannah. Ya Allah, grant our brother Jannah. Ya Allah, as we move forward from this place, allow us to carry forth an understanding from our brother Mansour. As we move forward from our place, allow for us to carry that understanding with us to every person that we are blessed and fortunate enough to meet and greet in this world. Let our moving forward be one where we always look backward to this moment that we have shared together. Help us to take this understanding and shape it into the best of forms and share it with those who were not present here in this space. Ennoble our most noblest of intentions and elevate for us our life's objectives. and grant us the continued strength to do everything that we could do to live our lives to the fullest, as our brother had done for every moment that he was in this world. Help us to carry his memory with us, not in a way that debilitates us or pushes us back, but gives us the confidence, courage, and compassion that we would feel if he was standing with us in the physical sense here today. Let his memory be in our hearts, and through those hearts let us see this world in the way that he would see the world. Help us to carry him with us on this day and every tomorrow that we see. Protect us, Ya Rabb, from hearts that are not humble, tongues that are not wise, and eyes that have forgotten how to cry. Forgive us for our shortcomings and guide and bless us all. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا يا مولانا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم وصلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه محمد وأهله وصحبه أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. Thank you again for joining us. For those of you who are not close friends and family of Mansour, if you could please take the opportunity to exit the space so that they could have some time with each other. And for those of you who are close friends and family, if you'd like to remain seated and take the opportunity to be with one another, feel free to do so.